All right, Jim.
Welcome back, everyone, to Hidden Treasure. And I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Brad, and today we got an exciting topic called Welcome to the Party. You don't want to miss this one.
That's right.
All right, Jimmy. So welcome to the party. This was a phrase that Jimmy said a couple of weeks ago, and I liked it. And basically, he was saying, we talk about the ego, the spirit, and this life. If this life is the party, then all we're uh, suggesting is that you connect to the spirit, that light inside you, which is your love light, and you bring more of that to your life, right? Instead of it just being run by the ego.
Right. We call it kind of human spirit. That's the human part of us. We have a human ego, human spirit. And the spirit, I said something about let's bring, we want to bring that to the party of life
Right.
because life is a challenging thing for all of us. It is not easy being a human at times, and especially the way you start out and everybody's taking care of you and stuff, and then once you get out on your own, and I mean everybody's going through tough stuff at times, and everybody's
Mm-hmm.
been through tough times, and everybody's felt about as low as you can go,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're there, it doesn't feel great,
Mm-hmm.
but when we were kids. And that's where that kind of came from for me. Is I realized, gosh, when I was a kid, I was really happy. I was 5 or 6. That was my perfect time. Had no responsibilities or anything. All I had to do was play. That
Right.
was before school started. About 4, 5, and 6 years of age, and other than kindergarten maybe. And but it was just a fun time, and it was like you were playing and pure joy most of the time. Well, where'd that joy come from? If we could be in joy then, why can't we be in it now? And it turns out we can, but you got to bring that to the party of life through some simple, you might say, ways of thinking in a different manner than we've been thinking, maybe
That's
lately.
right.
So,
Right. And so this all came from studying the good teacher Jesus, and what he taught us. His teachings were very simple, and I mean so simple sometimes we overlook them. And it's try not to take things personal, turn the other cheek, don't judge,
don't hold a grudge,
don't hold a
forgive,
grudge.
forget, move on.
Yeah,
7 times 70.
hard to do when you're in this human body and this human brain.
Especially at first. You get into like anything, and he said you must practice
Hmm.
my teachings. And I never even, I guess I read that, but it just didn't register on my brain until I had my experience. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, this guy, he was laying out the ground rules for what to apply to my life by practice. And he said if I did, I'd get better.
That's right.
And if the storms of life came, my house would, be affected, but it wouldn't fall. He said, if you build your house on the sand, it's going to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
But if you build it on the rock, and building it on the rock for me has been practicing the teachings of the good teacher.
I've heard this phrase a lot growing up, is hardened heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's where welcoming that spirit, that love light to the party, is to have a softer heart, a more compassionate, more caring, loving,
Mm-hmm.
understanding heart. And that's what welcome your spirit to the party is all about, is just bring some of that back in. And
Compassion and kindness and
right,
grace, and
right.
especially to people that, as the good teacher said, that really are not living the way they could be or maybe should be.
Hmm.
Instead of being critical of them and condemning them and saying I don't want nothing to do with them, I'm just like going to be nice to them
Hmm.
anyway. And if they're struggling, they're doing something that's just bringing harm to their life, my job is to pray for
Right. And there's something really powerful about once you become aware of something. And it's just like, an example I give is, if you've ever purchased a car, and then you're riding down the road, and every other car you see is the one you're driving,
them.
because you're aware of it. You're aware of that make and model, and you're like, oh my God, oh my goodness, I didn't realize there was that many vehicles like mine out on the road. It's because you're aware of it. Once
Hmm.
you become aware of your thinking and your thoughts, and it really is a daily application, then you become slower to anger and slower to negative thoughts and feelings and emotions. And sometimes you can catch yourself going down that road. You can stop it and turn around and go toward the positive or better direction.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about welcoming that spirit to the party of life, that is gonna
It'll help you.
yeah.
What we found out, and what I found out, is being born again. The Spirit was what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That spiritual nature of peace, joy, and love that was already within us that we just had covered up.
That's it.
That's the whole point of this podcast, is to show us, remind us what we've covered up and how to uncover it. The treasure. We all like treasure, don't we?
Right. Yeah. It's the most important discovery you can make.
Well, you can see I'm pretty excited about it. I get all giddy about it because it is the most. I always wanted to find treasure. I'm sure you did too. I would have given anything to find a treasure chest stuffed full of gold coins.
Right.
There's millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, now I found something better than that I wouldn't trade gold for nothing.
Right.
And it's getting easier for you and I to stay in the flow, as we like to call it, the flow of positivity, positive energy that comes from looking at life in a good way. So just do the best you can. Take it one day at a time. And if you have a bad day, don't worry about it. Every day is a new day, or a new day for a fresh start. There will be days that don't go so well. I try to make sure I just let everybody know, hey, look, you start out and it sounds great. Maybe we've inspired you, or somebody else has inspired you, and then you hit a kind of a rough spot. It's okay. We all do. You and I still hit rough spots every once in a while.
Oh, life's going to throw us curveballs.
It's going to do it.
But when you're in the light, and you've got we call it Teflon or a protective coating.
That's right.
It helps, but
nothing will stick to you. I mean, negative.
You could refer to it as just being more faithful, and just not that you would welcome bad things, but I'm telling you, you don't get as upset when they happen, because you got what it takes to overcome.
And you also know that this too shall pass. Yeah. Because I don't care how bad it gets, it's going to pass, and it's going to get better.
Yeah. Welcome the spirit to the party.
Welcome the spirit to the party, because that's the best thing we've done so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
By far.
And if you like this, please hit like, subscribe, so we can bring you more of this content. And hopefully this is being helpful, helpful to you and your lives on a daily basis. Please comment below if you have anything you'd like to share with us. We're always interested in feedback, for sure.
And thank you for listening, and may peace, joy, love, and light be with you always.
Love you, and we'll see you next time.
God bless.